welcome back to yet another amazing session. This session that we're having, this happens to be in dispersion. Now, you guys are naive, so I have got you some five critical facts about dispersion in this class. You are with me. My name is Udit Gupta, and I will be letting you learn all these things. But just let me tell you, there's one more place that you can learn, and this happens to be even better than what you are witnessing right now. And this happens to be the ODA app. Now, this teacher you're gonna find there, right? I'll just quickly tell about myself. My name is Udit Gupta. For those of you who do not know me, I've done my BTech from MNNIT Allahabad. I am your physics educator for today, and I've had a lot of experience. I have been teaching and teaching for a lot of time, and that just means that whatever you are about to get will come to you in a brand new way, in an innovative way, and in a way that you can remember for a lot of time. Yes, there are a lot of students who have come with me and benefited. I hope you also do the same. So, this is the app that I'm talking about where more innovation is there, where more content development, refinement of whatever you learn is happening. And once that refinement happens, I'm pretty sure that you will say that this is something that aligns with my studies. This is something that aligns with my academics. And that is where you start learning. You have that fun, enjoying learning, which is not really the case with everybody out there. So if you want to have that fun, entertainment, and enjoyment, you can check out the link below. There is a link in the description. If you just click on that link, this one out there in the description, you can be led to one of the most amazing courses. Yes, that happens to be the bridge course. Now, what exactly is the bridge course? It's a course that starts on Monday. It's already, Thursday, Friday. You can say that the weekend is about to come. And the next week, as soon as it starts, you can be the one who is starting it off with a bang. And how do you do that? By coming into this bridge course. Now, you would be thinking, what are the things that I will get here? So let me tell you, there's 1 week duration. That means 7 days we will be taking care of you. You will ask how. The best that you can do is teach. So let me tell you, not only do you get the teaching in these 6 sessions, three in maths, three in science, but how do we take care of you? We provide you an extra teacher, a personal teacher, just to make sure that you are not getting stuck. Getting stuck is one of the most difficult phases for anybody out there, and we believe that you should be able to overcome because there is guidance provided just for you in this course. You can just quickly call, you can text whatever doubts you have, and make sure that you are always learning. Now, it does not stop here in the bridge course. If you see a little further, you're going to find the homework on the app. You're going to find the tests on the app as well. You'll see the PDF books are also there. So it's an all around package where you get everything that you desire, that you want, and that we know you need. Just make sure that you check out that link below and get yourself into this bridge course. So let's hope that a lot of you will turn up there. And now we're going to start off what we wanted to do today. So we were talking about 5 critical facts in dispersion. Now, if you first of all want to know what exactly is dispersion, let me tell you that we are trying to talk about dispersion of light, and for that we need a glass prism and we need a white light. So once we get that white light, it's quite easy to get. You can just have a bulb, a tube light, not producing the yellow light, the one that produces white light. And if you just let that light come through, right? Let us say that I am having a bulb over here. Let us say that I am having a bulb over here. This is not a red bulb. This is the bulb that is producing this white light. If that just goes, if that just goes, you will see that this white light is dispersed. It gets dispersed. This means that white light is not exactly white light. White light is made up of these 7 colors that you see over here, and this is something that we know as Vibgyor. right? I hope that everybody would know about this, that V is for violet, I is for indigo, B is for blue, G is for green, Y is for yellow, O is for orange, and R is for red. So you can remember this very easily, that white light breaks up into seven colors, and this is what we call as the Vibgyor spectrum. Now, if I would like to take you a little further, we haven't talked about the facts yet. We just know this much, that this white light comes to the prism, it gets broken up into all these seven colors. What exactly can we say it apart from the word dispersion? Is there something else that we can say? Maybe another word that you can substitute. So that is where a lot of teachers, a lot of books will be using another term for dispersion. And let me talk about the first critical fact, that some people call it splitting instead of dispersion, that the light splits into seven colors. The light disperses into seven colors. Both the things are same. You just need to understand that both these terms will mean the same thing. So I hope this critical info number one is clear to you. Let's move on to the second info now. And if you talk about critical information number two, what do you get here? You are now talking about something called as deviation. Now, what exactly do we mean with the term deviation? Let me tell you. So in this case, what exactly is the white light trying to do? So white light starts off from here. It comes like this. This is not red. This is white. If the prism was not there, it would have went like this, right? It would have kept on going like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. It would have gone. It would have gone like this. This is the trajectory. This is the path that white light wanted to move. But what happened? The prism came in between. And once the prism came in between, the red light went like this. Instead of going there, it went like this, like this, like this. So there was some angle that we say it got deviated. That it wanted to go like this, but it went like this. So some angle, it said it got deviated. Now, what about the violet one? So violet one went like this. There was even more deviation. Let me just mark it out for you so that you will say that yes, this is something that is obviously true. The violet light, it went almost like this, like this, like this. So this was the initial ray. If we had this much deviation, we say that this is less deviation, this is minimum deviation. But for the violet light, it went this much, right? So this is less deviation. You see, my hand is making less deviation, and this I'm making more deviation. So you can remember that more deviation is for violet and minimum deviation is for red. How can you remember it? I'll give you one very simple trick. You know that in this Vibgyor spectrum, you have R and V at the ends. So either V will be maximum deviation or R will be maximum deviation. Now you know that if you read out A, B, C, D, E, F, G, if you know the alphabetical order, R will come first, V will come later. So V will be max and R will be minimum. Right. So I hope that this is clear to everybody. Let's move on and let's try to talk about critical information number three. What is this third information that we're having? Now we're moving on a little. We're going to try and learn a little more. We're moving on from deviation. And now we are saying something called as wavelength. Now we don't need to understand what is wavelength because we are trying to understand dispersion, not wavelength. But if somebody asks us that what about wavelengths in dispersion? So either you can remember these exact terms, that wavelength of red is 700 nanometers and wavelength of violet is 400 nanometers, or what I generally tend to prefer, or what I generally prefer to learn is that in this case I will say this 700 nanometer, this 700 nanometers is the higher wavelength, and similarly this 400 nanometer happens to be the lower wavelength. Lower 400 is less, 700 is more. So 700 is higher wavelength and 400 is lower wavelength. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You don't feel it that way? I'll tell you a trick over here. If you remember just where love, right now you're not asking about your love. If you just remember this term where love, you will see that I have marked things very specifically. W, H, R, L, and V are capital, and this R and H are in red, while this V and L are in violet. Why exactly? I am trying to say that you can remember WHRLV. What does this mean? This simply means that if I want to say W, W is for wavelength. W is for wavelength. I hope you understand. H is for high, R is for red, L is for low, and V is for violet. So if you remember where love, an acronym sort of a thing, a mnemonic for you, WHRLV, you can just say W is wavelength, H is high, R is red, L is low, and V is for violet. So this becomes something that you can remember again quite easily. Let's move on to critical information number 4. And what is this fourth information about? This is now talking about frequency. And I'll just say that red was having higher wavelength, it has lesser frequency, and violet was having lesser wavelength, so now it is having high frequency. So frequency and wavelength are just the opposite of each other. And if you want to remember this one, you can remember floor half. If you just remember floor half, you can say F is for frequency, L is for less, R is for red, H is for high, and is for F is for frequency. So you can remember that the red color light is having a lesser frequency and violet is having a higher frequency. If you want to just summarize everything in a nutshell now, so critical information number 5 will help you remember it more easily. It's just about to tell you that frequency and wavelength are just the opposite of each other. If you just remember this much, you are ahead of at least 95% of the students in your class because they fail to remember so. So what can you remember here? If you see, if good is going to increase, अगर जीवन में अच्छाई बढ़ रही है तो बुराई कम हो रही है, evil is decreasing. Similarly, you can say कि if your happiness is increasing, अगर आप खुश ज्यादा हो रहे हो तो आप दुखी कम हो रहे हो, sadness decreases. Similarly, if light is increasing, तो आपके पास डार्कनेस डिक्रीज करेगी. इफ लाउडनेस इज इंक्रीजिंग, अगर चिल्ला रहे हैं ज्यादा तेज तो वहां पे साइलेंस कम हो जाएगा, द साइलेंट नेचर विल डिक्रीज. सिमिलरली यू कैन से दैट इफ फ्रीक्वेंसी इंक्रीजेस योर वेवलेंथ डिक्रीजेस. इन फैक्ट आई वुड लाइक टू ऐड समथिंग ओवर हियर. व्हाट आई वुड टेंड टू ऐड इज कि अगर आपसे कोई कहता है, लेट अस से somebody tells you that wavelength over here is increasing. If wavelength increase, what can you say about frequency? You can similarly say कि frequency in this case is going to decrease. तो एक चीज बढ़ाओ दूसरी कम हो जाती है. You increase one of the things, the second thing decreases. So this was something that I wanted to tell, and let me tell you now how you are ahead of all your other peers, of all your other friends at school. Now, a normal student Your friend, they would be knowing only dispersion. They would be knowing that, okay, white light breaks into Vibgyor. That's it. You, on the other hand, have heard about dispersion. You learnt about deviation. You learnt about wavelength. You learnt about frequency. And you also find out the relation between these two. So you are ahead in a lot of aspects. And if you want to get even more ahead, the ODA Class app is going to help you with that. I've already told you the link is out there in the description. And if you would click there, you would be there in the bridge course. It's gonna start on Monday. There's hardly couple of days left. And since the seats are filling up quite fast, I would urge that you make your enrollment as soon as possible. What are you going to get in this bridge course? 1 week of studies, 6 classes, a personal mentor teacher, and all those feedback mechanisms on the app itself. The homeworks, the tests, the study report, and even PDF books for your revision. So everything we are trying to cover for you. If you would just grace us with your presence in this bridge course, let me tell you, it's a 499 rupees course, but you're gonna get it at a discounted price of 29 just because you came here and you were learning with us. And one more thing, like I said, that there are only some seats left. These many students have actually taken advantage all throughout the bridge courses that I've run. But your chance lies in that link below. And if you see, this is that link. You find it in the description. You click on it and do the needful. I hope that if you would be joining there, you would not only be learning, but you will be earning as well. Now, what are you going to earn? You're going to earn these all important ODA coins. They are going to be coins that you get in the class for the enrollment and a lot of different things. Just make sure that you go out there, check out that link. And also, if you loved this class, please make sure that you like and share with your friends. And if you don't want to miss out on anything, I know pretty sure that you don't want to miss out because there's more such amazing sessions coming up. So do press on this subscribe button and make sure you take the maximum advantage of all the sessions. This is me signing off, saying bye bye and thank you.